What's the crack, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Cards Everywhere here, bringing you another weekly league deck profile. It is another Beowulf deck. This time I'm using the Espionage Cephalopod combo. So I'll give you a quick rundown and we'll jump into a game. So first up is Beowulf. On the draw, if your deck has 14 or more epic cards, your epic cards, wherever they are, gain 19 power until played. Next we have James Armstead. On the return, your opponent loses 2 energy this round, and if you won the turn, your opponent loses 10 power this round. Very good card for this week. Since it is low energy, it can put the squeeze on the opponent. Next we have the Cambridge 5. On the draw, if your deck has exactly 5 Espionage cards, your Espionage cards, wherever they are, gain 25 power until played. And if it's round 5, they gain an additional 5 power. Next we have 5 Eyes. On the play, 5 of your random Espionage cards, wherever they are, gain 25 power permanently. Next up, Sidney Riley. On the play, if your deck has 4 or more Espionage cards, your playing cards and Espionage cards in hand gain 40 power this turn. So we do want to try and play this card with 2 other Espionage cards to get the full benefit. Last of the Espionage is Violet Sabo. On the draw, 2 opponents' random cards in hand cost +2 energy for 3 turns. Another great card for putting the squeeze on the opponent. And last of the history is Magna Carta. On the draw, your epic and rare cards, wherever they are, cost -2 energy until played. And on the play, your Declaration of Independence and Universal Declaration of Human Rights cards gain 20 power this turn. So this is a great card and a necessary one for this deck. It is quite a high energy deck, so we do need to get lucky and draw Magna Carta early enough. Next we have Flapjack Octopus. On the draw, your Cephalopod cards, wherever they are, gain 16 power and cost -1 energy until played. This card helps a whole lot in keeping the energy down. So does this card, Big Fin Reef Squid. On the play, if your deck has 4 or more Cephalopod cards, gain 2 energy permanently. Very, very good card for this week. Next is Giant Pacific Octopus. On the return, this card costs -2 energy until played, and your Innovations of War and Machine of War cards, wherever they are, cost -2 energy until played as well. Next up is Colossal Squid. On the draw, your epic and legendary Cephalopod cards, wherever they are, gain 18 power permanently. Next is Blanket Octopus. At the start of a turn, your cards with Octopus in the name in hand gain 7 power until played. This is more of a filler card for the deck. We probably won't be playing it unless we just want to get it out of our hand. Next we have Caribbean Reef Octopus. On the draw, if your deck has 3 or more Espionage cards, your Oceans and Seas cards, wherever they are, gain 30 power for 2 turns. Next we have a good cheap octopus, Blue Ringed Octopus. On the play, your Persian card, wherever it is, gains 30 power permanently. And also on the play, if this card matches the arena, your Oceans and Seas cards in hand gain 20 power this turn. Next we have Day Octopus. On the draw, if your deck has 8 or more Oceans cards, this card gains 65 power until played. Next up is Port Jackson Shark. On the play, if your deck has 10 or more Oceans cards, this card gains 80 power. Next up we have a crustacean card, Devil Reef Crab. On the play, all non-Oceans and Seas cards in both players' hand lose 25 power this turn. So we do want to play this card with 2 other Oceans cards to negate the downside for us. And lastly is Talos. On the play, if your deck has 9 or more Oceans cards, your non-Oceans cards, wherever they are, gain 20 power until played. So that's the deck, guys. I don't know if it's better or worse than the deck I showcased on Monday. It's a little inconsistent with the energy on the first round, but once it gets past the first round, it does start to get going. But I just don't know if it has the staying power that the Statue of Liberty deck would have. But I'll give it a few more goes. I've won 2 games and lost 1 with it. It was due to my poor... Well, it was due to me taking a risk, and it didn't pay off. But I think, if played right, it is a more than acceptable deck. Also, let me know if you do have any suggestions in the comments. Looks like we have found a bot, but it will do for showcasing the deck. So here we go. So we got our Beowulf. So we get the Beowulf out. The James Armstead. No, we'll hold off on the Beowulf and play Talos and the... Now we'll just play James Armstead and Beowulf for a 1-3-7. Looks like we are playing against the Ancient Egypt. I don't know if it would do well against a proper Ancient Egypt. Obviously the bot is not playing it right. But maybe we can get a decent game out of it anyway. So we play Flapjack, Devil and Day for a 3-0-2. Should put us well in the lead. Looks like it has done so. So we can play a relatively mid-hand next turn. I do want to get the Big Fin out to get the energy. We'll play the Talos, and sure we may as well play Violet as well. For a 2-4-3. More than enough. And that's round 1. So here we go into round 2. We got the Five Eyes and the Cambridge. So we'll get both of them out. And I suppose we play the Blanket as well, just to keep our cards rotating. As you can see, we're still cutting it fairly close with the energy. But once we do draw Magna Carta, we don't have any more problems for the rest of the game. There is the Sidney Riley. A bit late, so I think I'll try and hold on to it. So we'll play Caribbean, Port Jackson and the Magna Carta for 3-3-3. I'd say we would be losing if this was played by a proper person, the Ancient Egypt deck. But there is plenty of permanent boosts in the deck, so it's not like we can't come back in the later game. So a 3-8-3 should be enough. Fairly close, but it was enough. So there's round 2 in the bag. And here we go into round 3. We have our James Armstead to keep the pressure up on the opponent. So I think I will play the Sidney Riley. And I suppose we'll go for the strongest power we can for a 5-3-2. Cleopatra will make the opponent's cards cheaper. But our James will reduce his energy overall, so we may still be able to keep the pressure onto him. There is Day Octopus, the Flapjack, and the Big Fin for a 4-17. It is a very strong turn from the opponent as well. But we do have a 200 point lead. Well, nearly 200, and I think that'll be enough. And there's our Espionage combo. So we get all them around for a 322 plus the boosts. So it'll be in almost 400. And there we have it. So guys, that is the deck. I still think there's some room for improvement. But for now, it's another Beowulf deck. I will probably keep trying to make some different ones during the week. So stay tuned for that. And I think that'll do for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are enjoying. And Cards Everywhere out.